Hey guys, welcome to another episode. Today we're jumping back on our 1982 124 Spider. We're going to start diving into the electrical system. We're still waiting on the machine shop to get us our block back so we can actually start building the engine. But we can still test the electrical system without the engine here. We can do a lot of the systems like our dash lights, our tail lights, headlights, things like that to see what works. That way when we get our engine block back and we start building the engine and the engine's completely done being built, we'll be able to stick it in and know that most of our electricals are going to be good, and start solving some of those problems early while we have the time to do it. We've got plenty of light options here. We also have a new jump pack to plug in so we don't have to worry about lugging around a battery. We've got this to plug into our power system here. We've also got a tape and marker. This is so we can start labeling wires that don't have a connection, and if we trace them on our wiring diagram, we can label where they go. That way we're not doing the work twice. We've also got a good old-fashioned test light. We have a multimeter, just real basic functions, so we can test continuity between connections, make sure that there's no high resistance for any shorts or anything like that. And we've also got a super long test lead roll here, in case we have to go across the car or anything like that. We don't know yet. And of course, old-fashioned wiring diagrams and our factory manual here. That way we can start tracing some stuff down. There are sources for these online, and if I find them, I'll put them in the description down below for you guys so you have access to this too. So we're going to start plugging this all in. We're going to jump into the car, apply some power, and see what works. So let's jump right in. So the first place we're going to want to jump in is right here underneath the dash. We've got our super sophisticated knee pad here to save our knees because we're going to be underneath here for a bit. And what we can see from the center console is there used to be air conditioning, so I have a feeling a lot of this is associated with the air conditioning. But some of it is still attached to the center console there. And a couple wires are loose off here, like the switch for the brake handle. Don't worry about that. That's going to get fixed in a future episode, I promise. And so we jump up under here, and we've got a fuse in every location. And I know it's kind of dark, but from the looks of it, it all still seems to be plugged in. Our ignition switch is plugged in, and we do have the key. But a lot of stuff is plugged in on the underneath here. Doesn't look like the relay panel's been messed with. That's that over there. So we go to the back here. These are our seat buzzers on the floor there. Go back here. Obviously our battery terminals and our brake lights are all plugged in on both sides. And it looks like our side marker lights are plugged in also on both sides. Having to bounce back and forth here. So hopefully those have bulbs in them. We go up to the front. And this is where we're going to be hooking up our battery, because this is the other end of the terminal that attaches to the starter. That's our ground to the car right there with this open wiring, which we'll need to fix. And these should be what attaches to the post of the starter. I'm going to verify with our wiring diagram first, but I'm pretty sure that's what this is. So we'll just attach power here, and we should be set there for power and ground it here. And we'll see what happens. If we lose a fuse or two, we know to immediately disconnect power and start tracing it down there. So here's to nothing. Okay, so we're about to hook up power for the first time. You can see we've got our ground here straight to the body. At least what I think is straight to the body. Yeah, that's on there good enough. And this is going to be our positive. This brown one goes straight to our ignition switch. And we're going to be careful with this one because it's hanging down. I don't want it to short on anything. So we're just going to make sure it just stays all the way down there. Or we could, be smart and cut the plastic there. Well, we're just going to go for it. So the first thing is we're going to turn our power on. Green light is on. And we're going to see if we get any sort of spark when we try and touch it. Alright, that's good. We don't have any spark or anything like that. And I'm going to grab a knife. We're going to cut that, and then let's hook it up. Alright, that wire is cut. Now you can clearly see that there's a brown wire and a red one. This is our exciter to our starter. Just turn over the starter. And this is our power coming in from the battery. Like I said, this big terminal comes from the battery and sits on the same terminal as that brown one. So rather than running the power all the way from the back of the car to the front of the car, we're just going to go straight to the source. So power is on. No spark. And we're going to listen for any fuses or any smells. So keep your eyes, ears, and noses open. All right, I didn't hear anything. So let's go see underneath the dash. Oh, I guess we need the light, huh? Bring this with us. So the key's in the off position. See if I can prop that up there. And all of our fuses still look good. None of them have popped. But like I said, the key's in the off position, so we're going to give it a shot here. I think we'll see. No fuses. Key's in the on position. Gas gauge reads completely full. Hey, hey, we've got a bell and we've got lights. Our clock doesn't work. No, wow, that bell is really annoying. No clock, which is typical. But our gas gauge reads all the way full. Holy bell. Okay, that's really annoying. Ah, silence. So I think I saw all these light up. Let me turn the key on one more time. Yeah, they sure did. And then, lights. Oh, I see lights. Do we still have fuses? Yes, okay. So no light there. We've got a light here. Nothing there. And nothing there. Oh, but we've got a tail light. And we've got both parking lights. That one's probably going to burn out. Got another one here. No parking light there. Alright. Well, we still got our fuses. I'm definitely taking that chime out. And headlights. No headlights. Nothing new back here. Turn these on. Nothing. Alright. Blinkers. Nothing on the dash. Nothing there. Guess we don't really have anything up here either, so I can't really check anything. Alright, let's try the other way. Nothing. Alright. Got nothing on the dash either. Okay. Let's see. Wipers? No wipers. I hear clicking. Is that a hazard? What did I do? No, nothing there. Oh, do we have the hazard switch here? Plugged in? Oh. Something's clicking. Hit our... I don't know what's going on here. Oh, okay. So I think somebody definitely hooked up the blinkers wrong. Okay. Dimmers are all the way up. Let's turn off some lights and let's see if we've got some dash lights. Man, the garage is dark without all the lights on. Just gonna turn, get ready for the annoying bell. Okay, here's that. Oh, maybe the bell just killed itself. That'd be nice. Oh, no way. Light, light. I think there's a, yep, there's light back there. No way. Oh, even the brights? Oh, no. So even the brights light works, but that may be wired backwards. Yeah, it doesn't change anything. Looks like our fuel gauge light is out, but those lights are on. That's exciting. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. See, it gets brighter. I don't know if you can really tell, the center one's good. It's a little brighter when we turn the headlights on. Does the horn work? No horn. Sad day. Nope. Alright. Oh, that bell. We're going to find that and unplug that right now. Alright, well, this is exciting. Besides that really annoying chime, you know, it's actually a lot of work. So I was expecting a lot less to work considering how much is unplugged in that center console. But the first thing we're going to want to do is just see if the bulbs are bad. So 1 out of our 4 side marker lights are out, and 1 of our tail lights is out, and I think we have no action on the blinkers whatsoever. So we're going to have to dig into that and take a look. So we're going to take those out. We know we have 1 good bulb. We'll take those out. We can actually bench test those. I have a little tester I'll show you guys on how to bench test a light bulb real quick and do that kind of process of elimination and see what else we can come up with, because it could just be bad bulb. How many times have we all chased down electrical problems when it's just the light bulb or something is backwards or something like that? So I am actually pleasantly surprised with how much came on and how much works. So let's jump into these lights and go look at some bulbs. All right, so we pulled out one of those light bulbs. This is from our passenger rear, one of the ones that didn't work. You'll see they've got 2 little prongs, one on each side. One is for ground, one is for power. And I have these terminals that are attached to our power supply. I have plugged in out of the bench. It has 12.5 volts, and I have about 1.5 to 2 amps of power going through it. And all I have to do to test it, and you can do this with a battery too, if you attach terminals, just regular battery leads, just spare wire, and attach it to the terminals. You can actually bench test these yourself also. But when I touch these together, if it's bad, it won't light up. But if it's good, then, well, it'll light up. Alright, so our bulb is good. So that means we have something wrong with our connection to the back of the car. Or it could just be a bad connection in the car itself. So it could have a bad ground, which is very typical for these cars. So that's one way to test these. There's also another style of bulb, like these are like our tail lights. They might have a double terminal on the back, but you have the ground on the actual body of the bulb itself. Find a nice clean spot and you can ground it, hold it there, and you can put your light on here. And if it's good, it'll come on. If you've got a good connection, that is. There, so here's a clean section. You can see it comes on. That's one side, because it's a double filament. You can see the other side's brighter. Okay, so that's how you can test one like that. There are some with a single post on the bottom. You do the same thing. Just ground to the body and touch the single post on the bottom, and it should bring on the light bulb. So that's an easy way to bench test your bulbs. So we're gonna go through, test all these out, and if they're good, we'll stick them right back in the car, and then we'll clean the grounds where these actually ground to and try it again. All right, so we've got updates. I cleaned up all those light bulbs. They all work. So when I bench tested them, they all came on, no problem. I did find out that our front marker on the passenger side was unplugged completely, so that makes sense. And then our headlights were also unplugged completely. So when I turned on the headlights, our passenger side headlight came on, but not our driver's side, so we're gonna have to chase that one down. And then in the back, we still only have that one brake light. But I followed the ground lead, and this is where it's being grounded, right here to the body. But as you can see, there's a bunch of dirt and corrosion and grossness on this. So we're gonna take a small Dremel, clean up this post, get the paint off it. We need bare metal, not on paint. It's gotta be a better connection than that. So we're gonna clean that, and then we're gonna give it another shot. All right, so we took out the driver's side passenger tail light assembly. This one right here, we unplugged everything on the back side. And it's got 4 8mm nuts that hold it in place. Of course, we'll clean this up before we reattach that. But I figured out why we don't have any lights. It's because, well, there are none. So one broke off and is stuck in there. This one we're gonna have to test, and we're missing some. So we're gonna grab some bulbs, throw them in there and see if they work, and test this one and pull out this one that's stuck in there that got broken off. So now we know why. The mystery continues. Alright, so we've got some more updates for you. What I've been finding is that a lot of the connections are actually just really dirty. So the first thing I did is went down here to the fuse box. The fuse box here, and I took out all the fuses, and I took my little Dremel, looks like this, a little brass brush on there, and I went through and cleaned all the contacts. There was so much dust and debris, and I even cleaned both sides of the fuses because some of them were kind of hazy when they need to be shiny. So I cleaned all those up. Now they're nice and tight. I've even bent these in. I squeezed them a little bit to get them some tension back on them, because over time it'll lose that spring and it'll start to slowly soften up and it'll have a bad connection. So I sprung all those down nice and tight. And then we also went around to our corners that were not working, like this one and the other 3, and we tightened those connections. Those little light bulbs have 2 little prongs on them, and they really like to get flat over time. So what I did is I bent them out, then I went to the connectors and I squeezed those together, because over time, again, just like the fuse, they start to loosen their spring. So I tightened them back up so they're nice and tight on the connections. So we have our battery pack on. We're going to turn our key on here. And we got our running lights. So we've got our original one. Now this one's on. We still don't have anything from this one, but we still have our parking license plate lights. We have our parking light. And we've got this one, and I think we've got the one up front. Yeah, we've got this one also. So all those are now working just because of bad connections. Sometimes it is that simple. We turn on our headlights here, and they both come on. Let's see if we get our brights. Oh yeah, that's nice. The other thing I did is went and switched the wiring on the fuel gauge, so now our actual empty light works, and our bell is not ringing, thank God. Let's see if we can get the water temperature to read. So what we would do for that is grab a jumper wire, and if we ground it out, I believe, don't quote me on this, if we ground it out, then it should ping hot, I think, all the way hot. Just going to take our sensors here and see if we can ground one or the other and see what we get. I don't remember which one's which off the top of my head. So we ground it. Let's go take a look. Oh, there it goes. All the way hot. So we know that our wires are well connected there. Still no action on our clock. Maybe we can get that one rebuilt because it does look original. So let's try our hazards next, which is going to be our switch down here. Looks like it has a light on. I don't hear a hazard relay though. Yeah, I don't hear anything. Do we see anything? No, no flash. That is also probably why our blinkers aren't working besides our light bulb issue, because I'm pretty sure they're tied in to it here. Let's try our fan. Nope, no power on the fan. For all we know, we don't even have a fan. Could have been taken out, who knows. Turn this off. Oh, if I can get in here. Oh, I must have moved the car too much. Oh, that bell. Anyway, we're gonna still see our dash lights still work. Alright, enough of that. That's annoying. So we're making progress. We're doing pretty good. We're getting there. I think the next struggle is going to be chasing down all of this mess to get our blinkers. But I think I'm going to run to the parts store and grab some bulbs so that way we can eliminate that as a problem. And then we'll come back and jump on that. So let's run to the store and grab some bulbs and get right back in it. All right, guys, we're back from the store. We went to the local Advance because, you know, they always have everything I need. And the guys at the counter are always super nice. So I know I can go there and get the parts I need, and you always get the bonus with the speed perk, so it's pretty nice. So we're back. Let's get back to testing. All right, guys, those bulbs are finally installed. I'm gonna show you here. They are all nice and in. This is the best part about these, is this whole plate just comes off and you can look at all of them individually, just like this, all nice and replaced. You can see here we had our old nasty ones in there that didn't quite work for us. And these are the bulbs that I used. This one here. So this is for our one of our brake lights, and then the other ones are these. Those are the parts numbers 1156, those are the bigger ones, and 5007, those are the ones for our brake lights when you hit the brakes. And then I also picked up a flasher relay, EL13 is the part number for the flasher. I've had a lot of problems with flashers in these cars, and when we were testing them, they wouldn't even come on. The one on this side did for a couple flashes and slowly faded. So it must have been a bad connection. So I picked it up anyway. I was already there. So we swapped that out. This is our old flasher, and it's right beside your steering column there where the ignition switch is. It's right on the side, and a little clip is where it sits. It's got the 3-prong adapter on there, and I'll show you where that sits. So we've got these out so we can actually see these. Let's turn off some lights so that way we can see what we're working with. It's gonna be dark, so be ready. All right, holy moly, I can't see anything. Can't see nothing. Okay, so you can see our light. We have our key is on. So we can see, I know it's hard for you guys to see, but that's our light for no gas. That buzzing you hear, that's the clock actually is running. And of course our seatbelt switch, or seatbelt warning. So the first one on, all of our dash lights light up except for the gas, which we knew. For some reason this bulb is on. Don't know why. We'll have to take a look at that. We still have that grounded out, our temperature gauge. So when we flip it, we can see all of our side marker lights are on. And our brake lights, license plate lights, our other brake light, and side marker light. And you can see the yellow, maybe. You can see the yellow all the way up here. So we're going to come back around. What? Don't mind me. And we're going to flip on the headlights. All right, so we've got the headlights. Still have the marker lights. Awesome. All still good. We are going to hit the brakes, so we're looking backwards now. You can see we're getting brighter. We have 2 light bulbs on. Great. And now we're going to turn in our right blinker. See it flashing there? And then we're going to go left. You can kind of see it flashing there. There you go. And the best part is it works on the dash. You can see that on. And then our brights and regular. And I'm pretty sure that's almost all the lights. Let's turn some of our garage lights back on here. So you could see just, oh, that's what I tripped on. So you can just see what has been working so great is all these now work. And this is just such a relief because now we know that all this works. You know, before we get that engine in, we know our lights work. So if we do something in the engine compartment that knocks out our lights, we know something's wrong. The only other things that I can't really test right now are going to be like a reverse switch because that attaches to the transmission. I could find the 2 wires here in the center console and touch them and see that they work, but because of how well the other ones are working, I don't think we're really going to need to do that as of right now. Next on the list is going to be our hazard and our fan. But we might be able to get our hazards working because we replaced that flasher relay, and that's why our blinkers worked, is because we replaced that relay. Because before, you couldn't hear any clicking whatsoever. So let's get our hazards on. Maybe? Oh, you can hear them. And the thing is on. And our blinkers are not. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, hazards work. We won't know on the front because we have our front bumper removed, so we won't know how that works. But that means our hazard switch works, which is awesome. So if we turn it off, oh yeah, that's so good. We also took out the chime because that's so annoying. So that is now officially removed. And we put a relay up there. I think that's for our horn. I don't know officially, but I feel like it wants to work, but maybe not really. So, yeah, I think that's everything tested for as far as lights, minus our reverse light and our interior light, which are going to be later, of course. So now we can just stick this back together and see how it all looks put together and assembled. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today's episode. We actually got really lucky when it comes to our lights. Quite often, even in Fiona, when I had my green 124, these rear marker lights just never wanted to work. So the fact that this one does right off the bat like that, and just wiggling some wires and cleaning some contacts, and it comes right on. And the best part is, even with power hooked up, we weren't blowing any fuses right away. We actually haven't blown any since we've been doing all of this testing of things, and you know, I'm really surprised at how much works on this car. The only thing still not to work is our fuel gauge backlight, but at this very moment that's not a huge importance, I want to say, until we actually get on the road. We unplugged that awful chime because it was so annoying. It's quite a comment for people to take that apart. I'll probably keep it with the car just to keep it together, but I'm so glad that thing is out. One step closer, and that's what it's all about. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out so I can continue to make content on these cars and how we can keep them on the road. And it gets information out there for you guys, for other people to use, or just for entertainment if you want to see how the build is going. So with that, guys, until next time, we'll see you.